In Missouri, Senator Eric Schmitt, who knows quite a lot about this. Senator Schmitt, welcome back. I mean, to me, it just seems like the Bidens have no interest in catch and deport. They have no interest in closing the border. And if anything, they want to aid people. It's catch and release into the interior of the country, which can't handle it and which is a humanitarian crisis as well as law breaking. What do you see here? There's no plan.
Well, we've seen waves and waves of illegal immigration before, Larry, but we're about to see a tsunami. Title 42 accounts for about 30 to 50% of the expulsions at the southern border. You have about 8,000 a day on average. So if you think we have a problem right now, double it, and that's what's coming across. You see tens of thousands of people staged to illegally come across the border. And Biden's response is essentially now catch and release, because these facilities are filled up. What they're going to do is release them into the interior of the United States with a piece of paper saying, we hope you show up for your court date. What could go wrong? I mean, this is a disaster, and it's completely of Joe Biden's making. We had a secure border under President Trump. We had Remain in Mexico, which was working, which essentially said Mexico is the waiting room for these asylum claims. 9 out of 10 of those are bogus. We had Title 42. When I was Attorney General, we sued to keep Title 42 in place, keep Remain in Mexico in place under Joe Biden. Those have now all gone away. And then, of course, we need to finish the wall to give our Border Patrol agents the cover that they need to effectively do their jobs. And one more point here, in that same budget where Joe Biden is, funding 87,000 new IRS agents, guess how many Border Patrol agents he's funding? 350 new Border Patrol agents.
Boy.
So it's a disaster.
Senator Schmitt, you raised Title 42, which was put in by the Trump administration, was essentially catch and deport. That's what it was, okay? The Bidens are not replacing Title 42 with anything. So therefore, I conclude the border stays open, catch and release is the policy. And when we talk about going into the interior of the United States, I mean, I have nothing against the illegals except that they're illegal. The rest of the country doesn't want it. I mean, up here in New York, every day in the New York Post, there's a story. People don't want them coming into these suburbs and the cities and the hotels. There's no place for them. It's a disastrous, selfish story.
We saw that in Martha's Vineyard, right? When some illegals were sent there by bus. We saw how the left reacted to that. The truth is, Larry, every state is a border state. Missouri, New York, every state's a border state because they're going to feel the brunt of this. And you're starting to hear language now from the Biden administration about a humane solution. I mean, give me a break. There's nothing humane happening at the border right now. I've been down there twice. The cartels are in charge. They are moving human beings by way of human trafficking. $100 million a week is the value of just the human trafficking alone. You've got the cartels moving fentanyl into our communities and crime. And so it's a disaster down there from a national security perspective, from a humanitarian perspective. Any way you slice it, it's a nightmare. And it's because Joe Biden has essentially let go of the rope here and allowed this to happen.
Yeah, you're right. This is an inhumane policy is what this is, because those people are going to come in. They have no livelihoods. No one's going to take care of them. They're not going to have, I mean, they're not, anyway, it's not a good thing. Senator, can you just give me, somebody told me it's one of my favorite topics. You want to reform Section 230. We're going to switch gears, but you're so smart. Can you just give me 40 seconds on this? Because reforming Section 230 solves a lot of free speech problems if we'd ever do it.
So today I filed the Collude Act, Larry, which basically says if big tech giants are coordinating or colluding with the federal government, Section 230 protection doesn't apply, so they can be sued. So if you're deplatformed for speaking your mind under the First Amendment, which we value in this country, you're going to be protected, and you're going to be able to sue these big tech giants. They're no longer going to be able to hide behind Section 230, because what we've seen is the federal government is colluding with big tech to silence people, to deplatform people, and violate their First Amendment rights. It's got to stop, and my legislation would do just that.
No, it's terrific. I hope we'll talk some more about that, and I hope that thing moves well, because it's exactly the right approach. Senator Eric Schmitt of Missouri, thank you, sir. We appreciate it.